Hey everyone, and welcome to my webinar on my top 10 ways to make $1,000 fast. Today I'm going to be walking you step by step through 10 very practical jobs you can do easily that you can start tomorrow if you wanted to. And they're going to pay you cash in hand very quickly. So if you're in a spot in your life where you are needing money, if you're trying to reach a goal where you're paying off debt or trying to fill up your emergency fund and you want to do it fast, these are things you can be doing. Or if you just don't quite make enough money to pay your bills every month, if you're struggling just to put food on the table or to even make any headway on anything, do one or two of these ideas and you will totally turn around your financial situation. A lot of these things I'm going to outline today are things that my wife and I did during our financial journey as we were getting out of debt. And then at the very end, I'm going to show you a PDF that I've created with all 10 of these things linked on it. The link is also going to be below the video in the show notes. So if you want that PDF to keep, just click on that link, grab it. You can print it off, you can save it on your desktop, keep it somewhere handy where you can use these things as a checklist as you go down trying to find new ways to generate some money. So let's get started. We're going to dive right in with number one, and that is basically just work overtime. If you're in a job that allows you to work some overtime and get paid for it, meaning you're hourly based, not salary, take advantage of it. While this may be one of the most obvious selections, and that's why I like to kick off with this one, it's also one that can be the most lucrative for you. When you work overtime, employers are required to pay hourly staff time and a half for every hour they work over 40 hours for that week. So if you're working that extra hour, once you pass that 40-hour mark, you're getting your hourly rate plus 50% of that hourly rate added to it. It adds up fast. You can make so much money doing this just by staying 1 or 2 hours extra every day during your workday to totally revamp your income. Now, of course, not all employers like their staff to do overtime, obviously, for that financial reason. They're going to be paying you out a whole ton of money if you really take advantage of it. However, there are a lot of employers who want their employees to take advantage of it. They have so much work overload, so many cases that they're trying to do, that they are encouraging people to please work overtime. We need to get caught up. So talk to your boss, see if it's an option for you. The second thing I recommend you do is drive for a ride-sharing company such as Lyft or Uber. This is something that I did personally, and it is great. Now, disclaimer, I don't get any pushback or any money for promoting them in this webinar. This is simply me telling you something that I did to make some money. What's great about ride sharing is that there is no earning cap. You can drive as much as you want, give as many rides as you can, and you can make as much money as you want to make. It's totally up to you. There are no set hours that you have to work. There's no hour minimum you have to work. Now, there were times where I would work a ton in 1 week, and then I would take a week or two off and wouldn't drive once. So it's really fits your schedule. It's open to any type of schedule. If you work in the days, you can drive at night or vice versa. Anyone can do it as long as you pass a background check and as long as your car is not just a big piece of junk. So if your car, I think the standard, it used to be 2001 and newer. That may be different. You may want to look into it now. But if you have a car that's in decent shape, then all you do is you sign up online. You go in, you get your picture taken, you sign some paperwork, and you are ready to go. It takes a couple of days max, and you can take your first ride in less than a week and start making that money. If you're open to driving on holidays or weekends, that's where you'll make the most. They a lot of times have surge pricing. If you've ever been a rider for Uber, you've noticed that when you try and get a ride late on a Friday night, that the fares are sometimes 5 times their normal rate, which for you as the driver is fantastic. So if you think about it, on a regular night, if you take a $10 ride, if it's surging 5 times, that means you're getting $50 for that one $10 ride. You can make so much money if it's surging, and that happens a ton on holidays, big events, festivals. So keep your eye out for local events, local news. See what's going on in your area, if you're driving for Uber or Lyft, and take advantage of it. Take advantage of those high paying fares. What's great also in the way they pay you out is you get to keep 80% and 20% goes to Uber, and they pay you out once a week. So on Thursdays, it's automatically drafted into your account. Everything you drove for the previous week goes straight into your bank account. So it's quick money, you get paid weekly, and it's fantastic. With that being said, let's move on to number 3. And this is just having a garage sale, a good old fashioned garage sale. Now, we did this one not too long ago, my wife and I hadn't done it since I was a kid. And at first, I was a little hesitant. I usually am just one of those like, let's just see what we can get on Craigslist, or let's just donate it and take the tax write-off. But my wife was big on, we could sell this stuff and make a lot more. So we had a garage sale, and it really did put in a lot more money. And there's a couple things I want you to think about when you're doing a garage sale. So first of all, number 1 is I really want you to go into it with a purge mindset. These things that you're going to put out there, you don't want anymore. Get ready to get rid of them. So go through your house, find as many things that you don't use, things you don't want, clothes you don't wear. Clothes sell great at garage sales, I've learned. Find everything that you just could get rid of. Set it out there, and then have that mindset when you're selling it too, that you want to get rid of it, meaning you're going to take what's offered. And that's the second advice I can give you. Take what people offer you. They're going to haggle you. So don't get so attached to it thinking, oh, this is my favorite shirt. I can't sell this for less than this much. The person buying it is not going to pay probably what you're wanting for it. So remember that they're going to haggle it down. Take it. Your goals right now are to make more money. So if you're putting it out in the garage sale, take what's offered to you. Your goal is to have those tables completely emptied by the end of the day. So if you do have some more expensive items, that's what brings me to number 4, and that's to sell some things on eBay. And these are the things that I wouldn't recommend you sell in a garage sale, because you could probably make a little bit more money on them. And so you could sell them on eBay or Craigslist for your local area if you're more open to meeting up with people. I recommend doing this for more valuable items, your name brand items, things like iPhones or tablets, your shoes or bags that maybe are Coach or Louis Vuitton, things that the garage sale you're going to get hardly any return on. You might get a little bit more on eBay. Again, you're probably not going to get what you have in mind, but check it out, do some research, search those items on eBay now and see what are people selling for. What is it really going for? Look at if you change your search item and say recently sold, you can see what they've been selling for lately as well. That's a tactic I used when I sold some of our old phones. When we signed up with our cable provider, they were doing a promotion at the time where they gave us a tablet for free. We basically took that tablet, put it on eBay, and sold it for whatever we could get. I did some research to see how much they were going for so we could get a good starting price and sell it. So that's perfect for if you don't want to give it up for just dirt cheap. eBay is a fantastic option, and it's really made a lot of ground over the last few years. People really care about their ratings and things like that, so it's a very trustworthy thing. If you've never done it before and if you've been hesitant, they are very reliable. They have a lot of protection for both buyers and sellers. Another thing you can do with eBay, just a quick story about something I did when I was in college. You can find things, buy them cheap, and then sell them on eBay for more money. Maybe if you are handy or know how to do things, fix it up a little bit, repurpose it, sell it on eBay, and make a profit. I did this when I was in college. Local school district was selling old laptops. They were very good condition laptops. They were just a few years older model. The district was getting new ones, so they were selling these for $50 each. So I went and bought one. I threw Windows XP on it, which was the top of the line provider at the time. I threw XP on it. I put it on eBay, and I sold it for $150. When I saw that I could sell it for that much, I went back and bought 10 more, repurposed them all, put XP on all of them, sold them all on eBay for around $150. Made really good money. I only recommend doing this if you have extra cash on hand. I wouldn't go borrow money trying to invest in your eBay business, or I didn't jump in and buy 10 right away and only to find out they wouldn't sell for more than $50 on eBay. Take it slow, make sure it works, and then you can really benefit from it and profit from it. Number 5, if you don't mind manual labor, mow some yards. This is another thing that I did when we were getting out of debt. people will pay you to do their yards because let's face it, a lot of people hate yard work. And so if you don't mind doing yard work, do it. Offer that service to them. Take an hour, get some fresh air, and provide that to them. And if you do a good job, it's a reoccurring job. They usually will have you come back once or twice a month, or even once a week if they really like having a yard fixed up. It's easy to start doing. If you already have the equipment, you're good. If you don't have the equipment, most of the time, people who will hire you already have a mower and a weed eater and everything that you'll need. They just don't want to get out there and mow their own yard. So take advantage of that. Go there. You can use their equipment. I mowed a yard for a long time where I used the people's mower. They had a riding mower. So I just showed up, used their equipment, provided the service to them, and got paid. Both of us benefited greatly from it, and it's a good way to make extra money. Number 6 is participate in research studies. Now, look, and you're going to have to do some Googling in your area to see what you have available, but find out if you have any market research study companies in your area. In Austin, there is one that I joined, and basically I signed up for their email list. They would email me opportunities where I fit the demographic. So it's research studies is more of focus groups. They're targeting companies will pay them to see what people think. You're giving their opinion. They're paying you to tell what you think of their products. So, for example, one of the ones I did, I had to go to a department store. I had to shop there, and then I met for a focus group, and I shared my experiences. It was around the holidays time, so they were asking what I thought about the displays, what did I think about the prices, would I be likely to go there again. It took me about 2 hours. I walked away with almost $300 in cash. I've done other ones where it's all completely online. They were testing out, as far as I know, a social media experience. They didn't tell me a ton about it, but I logged in, I posted some selfies, I had to type in a couple opinions about things, I had to share a little bit about myself, and I got $150. It took me about 5 minutes a day for 3 days. So really look into it. It's something you can do on the side. They understand work schedules, so a lot of them focus groups will meet in the evenings if you're a daytime worker. So research it. I highly, highly recommend it. And if you're brave enough, try medical ones. There are medical research teams where they're testing out things like allergy medicines or headache medicines. And if you're open to trying out those types of things, do it. You can make some money. My sister did medical ones where she stayed overnight. They did studies on things and they wanted you to stay for 3 days. And those can pay $2,000 to $3,000. So if you're willing to give up a weekend, do it. Whatever it takes. And remember, it's just temporary. So doing it now to reach your goal, and then at some point you're going to be out of debt, you're going to have your emergency fund build up, and you don't always have to keep doing it. Something related to the research studies, but a little bit different, a little bit faster, and a little bit more on demand is donating plasma. My wife did this one. I get the heebie-jeebies from having blood or anything pulled from my body. So I opted out of donating plasma. I was like, I will give my opinions all day, but plasma, I left to her. So she went to donate plasma, and she would go twice a week, and they would pay her cash. Typically, they offer incentives if you go more frequently. So she would go the first time on a Monday, they'd give her $20. But if she went back before Friday, they'd give her $30 for that visit or something like that. Every place is different. Research it. It's very quick. She'd be in and out of there in an hour or two, and money in her hand. It's not the most lucrative option on this list. However, it's easy. Anyone can do it as long as you meet their medical requirements. They do a checkup on you every single time you go, so they'll make sure that you are a fit candidate. My mom used to do this when we were growing up as well. Anytime she was saving up for something, if my parents wanted a new dining room set or something like that, my mom would donate plasma as she saved, and that money she would save up until they could afford what they wanted. They bought it, and then she would stop until something else came up that they were wanting to buy. That's how they handled it. So instead of going into debt or borrowing money for that furniture, they stopped, they planned, they got their finances in order, and they saved little by little, and then were able to buy it in cash. Number 8 is one of my favorites, and it's one of the only ones on the list that I still do today, and that is turn a hobby into profit. Now, I'm a musician, and right here on the screen is a picture of my band. We're a 90s cover band. That's me standing in the middle on stage, decked out in that fun 90s clothes. So, music is passion in my life. It's something I love to do, and it's something, it's a hobby I do. I would do it for free. However, I looked into ways I could turn this hobby, this passion, into an income. So, think about something that you are really good at. It doesn't have to be music, obviously. Do you sew? Are you crafty? Are you good at designing things? I know some people who are really good at graphic design. They don't do it professionally, but they just like playing around and toying around with those things. Find something that you can do well and brainstorm. How can I make money doing this? So if you are crafty, like I said, or you sew, maybe you could start selling things on Etsy or go to bazaars and set up booths at churches or whatever. Find ways that you can sell it. Once again, eBay. If your product, whatever you're creating or whatever you do, would be viable or valuable on eBay, take advantage of it. So I have this band, and we have been playing for a long time, and I'm with my three of my best friends. So whenever we're playing a gig, yes, it's work, it's hard work, it takes almost 6 hours with loading up gear and playing music, and I'm exhausted when it's finished. However, I have a blast. I love doing it, and I walk away with good money in my pocket every time. So this is one of the most fun things on this list to do, is to find something you already love doing, something that you already do in your free time, and ask yourself, how could I make money doing this? Number 9 is similar to number 8. However, this isn't so much your hobby. This is, what are you doing now to make money, and how could you offer that out on the side to make some extra? So if you're thinking about your professional skill, what could you do to contract it out? And that's more of a, if your job is web design or graphic design. Maybe you do those things for a company, but you're skilled at it. So create yourself a domain, start promoting yourself as a freelance web designer, graphic designer, or whatever, and try and bring in some income by doing those projects on the side. Same thing if you're a handyman or a plumber. Handymen are very sought after. When we moved into our house, I like to pretend I can do everything on my own. I wish I was more handy than I really am. So we had a microwave we were trying to mount under the stove, and it had a tile backsplash, and I guess I don't have the right tools to drill through tile, because I spent 2 days trying to push drill bits through this tile, and I couldn't do it. So I looked up a local handyman, I called him, he came, mounted it for me in about 30 minutes, and he walked away with money in his pocket. So research it, see if there are some companies in your area that hire out freelance handymen or plumbers or whatever. Offer out your services. Whatever you're good at professionally now, think about how could you make money doing it. If you're an educator, check out Teachers Pay Teachers. Now, I'm a teacher, and so I know a few people I work with who do this. There's a website called Teachers Pay Teachers, and they're taking these lesson plans, these things they're already doing in their classroom, and they're throwing it on a website and selling it to other people. I also know a lot of teachers who go to that website to buy these things or download them, because they are like, well, I need a lesson plan, but I don't want to take the time to actually build it out. Whatever your field is, do a little bit of research. Think of how could you turn it into a contract service that you do on the side. And the last one is kind of it collects everything else that's left over, I feel like, but it's just do odd jobs. And this is whatever you can think of in your local community. So going to retirement homes or nursing homes and offering to go buy groceries. I know if you scavenge your Craigslist, a lot of these types of jobs are out there where people are like, I need someone to pick up groceries for me once a week. I will pay you whatever. If that's something you're available to do, offer to do that. People will pay you for rides places. I've seen these things where somebody's going, I need to go to Dallas. Who's going? I will pay you to take me there. So if you're already going there, you can pay them. Whatever your odd job might be, take advantage of it. Babysitting is not just for teenage girls anymore, I'll tell you right now. So if you want to babysit, if you have kids already and feel like maybe on a Friday night you want to advertise to your neighborhood, take a date night, I'll watch your kids, do it. It's money. It's extra money. Your kids can make some new friends. It's something you already are good at, know how to do. You're trustworthy. You have a rapport as a parent. Take advantage of it. Make some money. I have a neighbor who did that on New Year's Eve. They knew that New Year's Eve is a huge night where parents want to get out and celebrate. So they promoted to the neighborhood, hey, we are going to have a New Year's Eve kids night. We will take care of your child for a pretty discounted rate. They had about 3 or 4 families drop off their kids. They had games, they had events for those kids for the night. Parents got out. They were able to make a few $100s just in one night from watching a group of kids. So those are just examples. If kids aren't your thing, think of other odd jobs you could be doing. The most important thing is find something to generate income. So these are my 10 ideas for making money fast. Obviously, there's a ton more out there. I just jotted down 10 that I've done personally or have known someone close to me who has done them. So if you want these in a PDF form, all you have to do is click the link I've added below the video for you. Grab that link and it will be emailed to you. You can print it, you can have it on your computer, you can send it to a friend who you think might also benefit from these things. And it's a checklist, so you can check them off. Pick the ones you want to do, look into them and check them off as you're going. You're going to see some cash coming in. And again, I know that maybe these things are not the most ideal jobs. I'm not saying make a career out of mowing yards, unless you love mowing yards. I'm saying suck it up for a little bit, make some extra cash until you get to where you are financially stable. So for us, these were things we were doing when we were trying to get out of debt. We were making these jobs, making this money. Once we paid off that last debt payment, we cut a lot of these things out. I stopped driving for Uber after that. My wife does not give plasma anymore. So we stopped doing these things. I haven't participated in a research study in a while. Thank you guys so much for spending this time with me as I walked you through these ideas. If you have ideas of ways you're making money, I would love to hear them. So just email them to me at info@craigdacey.com or go to my Facebook page, Twitter, whatever you use for social media. I have them linked right here on the page. Find me on there and post them there so that others can get those ideas too. People benefit from what you're doing as well. Find me on there, follow me, and so I can send you and you can be in the know when I have new webinars coming out. I am constantly posting free content. I love giving away things to my followers. So find me on one of these outlets, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you guys so much. Good luck making money. Go make that cash, bring it in fast, and I hope you reach your financial goals faster than you expect. Thank you.